It's time for the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship. This round is Permco MotoAmerica Superbikes at Mid-Ohio. Our 7th and 9th round for 2024. We're in Lexington, Ohio at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And we are set for Junior Cup race number 2, which happens to be our second race of the day. Welcome everyone to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside two-time national champ Jason Pridmore. Now Jason, very interesting day for these Junior Cup riders. Yesterday, we couldn't get the race underway. There was weather and all kinds of stuff, so they already raced earlier today. But for the championship points leader, he just put his stamp on this thing.
Yeah, Matthew Chapin's been fast all weekend, Greg. He's been as much as a second. And you're going to look at these highlights. You're going to see the 95 get off to a good start here. And really, at that point, he's never headed. He just pulled away. And he is on the cusp of winning our championship here at MotoAmerica for 2024 in the Junior Cup. But we had a titanic battle a little further back for third as Jaden Fernandez ended up second. You can see here Chapin comes across the line, and it's going to be Eli Block giving the Bartcon team a first and a third. With Jaden Fernandez, we didn't really get to talk about him much, but it was really a great ride for him. If it wasn't for this guy, it would have been Jaden's first win, but Matthew Chapin took that into his own hands. And now he's got a 57-point lead, I believe it is, Greg. So,
well, why don't we find out?
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Yandel Medina, 57. So there's a couple scenarios to play out here in this championship for Matthew Chapin. The easiest one to know is if he wins, he's going to get that #1 plate and be crowned champion early. They don't go to Circuit of the Americas, but they certainly go to the final round of the year at New Jersey Motorsport Park, which is coming up at the end of September. But for this rider, he's looking, Jaden Fernandez, for his first win. Can he get it done? It would be magic at Mid-Ohio.
So the grid then forming up. Matthew Chapin will start from the pole position, the number 95 Bartcon Racing. He is the champion-elect. He's currently 55 points ahead. If he leaves this event with 50 or more, with an advantage of 50 or more, should I say, he will be the champion. Now, by my calculations, 25 points for the win, 20 for second. That's a gap of 5 points. I've been looking back while we've had a little bit of time. He's won more races than his nearest rival. So second place would potentially be good enough for Matthew Chapin. Of course, he's not going to be thinking about that as the riders set off on their warm-up lap. There's a few other riders that are going to be in this mix that really don't care about the championship. They're in it for themselves. Carson King, one of them. Solly Mervis, who had one of his best results of the season so far. Yandel Medina as well will be one to watch. What can Ella Dreyer do? She's already been on the podium this season. Can she get another podium here with just 3 races left in the MotoAmerica Junior Cup Championship? As I said, for Bartcon Racing, Colin Barton watching back in New York. Both of his guys on the podium in race 1 with Eli Block getting that 3rd place with a great final couple of laps from Eli. Will he play the team game? Of course, Eli wants to finish in the top 3 of the championship himself, doesn't he? So on one hand, thinking about the championship for the team and his teammate, but you don't tend to see as many team orders in this one. Right then, let's head back to Greg and Jason for the call. It's Junior Cup Race 2.
MotoAmerica Junior Cup coverage at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course is brought to you by Permco, a leading manufacturer of high-pressure hydraulic gear, vane pumps and motors, flow dividers, intensifiers, and accessories. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Junior Cup Race 2, Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, starting grid, and it's Chapin, Medina, and Fernandez, your front row.
Then we have Ryan Wolf, Carson King, and Eli Block. All those were really involved in that battle for third. Then we have Avery Dreyer. Hopefully we can get him up front today too.
Yeah.
Ella Dreyer, Solly Mervis with his best result. Logan Cunnison, Frankenfield, and Juliana Fernandez. Then we have Woodworth, Sanchez, Mascaro, Way, Kesey, and James. Just outside of row 6 there. Back to row 7, Nathan Betancourt, Sonia Lloyd, Williams, and Gendron. So we're getting ready to go here, Greg, and there's some kids put some really good rides in this morning, and sometimes, you know, it's having these races back to back, you know, it's been about 4 hours since the last one or so, but they're going to be itching for more, for sure.
11 laps scheduled in Junior Cup race number 2. Upper left part of your screen is the red lights. They're gone and we're racing. Clutches are out as we head to turn number 1. And it looks like the 95. Oh no, this is not what the field wanted to see. But it's Chapin who's taking command of this race as he tries to win this one and wrap up the championship. He doesn't quite have the jackrabbit start he had as the 13 of Fernandez is keeping him in sight. Boy, the first lap of race number 1, and he was already in the keyhole by now.
Yeah, the thing is now for Jaden is he's got to try to do something with Chapin down the back straightaway right off the bat. He wasn't in this good of a spot in the first race to try to get any kind of draft advantage at all, but you can see here he is in that draft, and let's see if he can pull over to the right. Might be able to try to outbrake Chapin, but Chapin has just done such a good job at the end of these back straightaway here of just getting in there nice and deep, opens up the radius and is through. But all of them are a lot closer than they were earlier this morning.
123 miles per hour down the back straightaway out of a Ninja 400. And that was our rider all the way back in 16th place. That's what a 15-rider draft will do for you as we continue to look at the 95 to 16-year-old from Damascus, Maryland on the Bart Kahn Racing Ninja 400. Matthew Chapin with 5 wins so far this season, 4 wins so far this season. Chapin has done such great work to put himself in this massive position of possibly wrapping up this championship early. But his competitors, number 13, Jaden Fernandez, right there, not wanting to let him get away.
I mean, the biggest thing right now for the people following him are they've just got to try to stick with him here early. He's going to drop the times. We've seen him in the 37s, I believe, earlier on today. But this is encouraging from the 4 riders that are directly behind. You can see Ryan Wolf there in 5th place. Has done a really good job of holding on. We saw Ryan earlier just run off the inside of the track, and I am wondering if he had a problem with his bike when after he did that, because he went backwards a little bit. But you can see he's got that pace to hang with those leading 4 riders just in front of him. And you can see Carson King there, Medina there. And of course, just off the back of these guys is Eli Block and Avery Dreyer, who has just not had the year he would have liked in defending his championship. His sister's back there as well. Now, we saw Ella up there a lot closer earlier, didn't we?
We certainly did. 39 of Medina is going to swap positions with the 13, so he goes up to 2nd place. And now it looks like Carson King is starting to move forward up, and Ryan Wolf
did the same, didn't he?
That's right, he got right back to it. What was interesting about that particular lap, though, Jay, for Matthew Chapin, was he was so fast through the keyhole and out onto the back straightaway that no one was able to even sniff a draft the 95.
And he's still small. That's the thing is, Matthew's still very, very tiny in stature. And he can get in and around the fairings of that bike really, really easy. And if you look at him ride again, a guy that rides very, very simple. There's nothing over dramatic about what he does. Let's see what this lap time is. As Medina is really the one now trying to take the fight to him. What did we do our opening lap here? A 37.8 to a 37.8. So these guys are definitely showing that they're here to bring the pace. Now Chapin's going to see that when he comes around next time. Again, he's going to have +0 on his board.
And the number 66 of Ryan Wolf able to go the fastest lap of the race, as you would expect. At Mechanicsville, Maryland, on the Wolf Racing Ninja 400. All these competitors on the Kawasaki Ninja 400. This is not a spec class in Junior Cup. It's just the way it's ended up over the years, because for the machines that are allowed in this class, it turns out that the Kawasaki Ninja 400 has been the best weapon to bring to the fight. Let's get down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Hannah Lopa.
Well, for Carson King, who's currently in 5th, it's not a name that we've heard quite often in MotoAmerica. That's because he made his debut in Junior Cup last year at Road America on Cody Wyman's championship-winning bike. This year, he's been in the mix, and in the race earlier today, he was trying to fight for that final podium spot. He's got a background in flat track racing, so really cool. Keep an eye on Carson King, the number 32. I'm sure it's not the last time you'll be hearing that name.
We certainly will, and as Yandel Medina goes to the front off the back straightaway, now it's Medina who leads. So Chapin, for the first time racing this weekend, he's going to get a chance to see someone else lead the way. As though we have a bike down.
Got a bike down in a weird spot. That's going to be turn 9. Look at the corner workers, how quickly they're getting out there and getting that cleaned up. Heads up to them, and they're going to get that bike off the thing. Ryan Wolf, by the way, did 37.6 that last lap, closing in on the back of everybody. So But number 19, Greg, looks like, oh, it's Juliana Fernandez. So she fell coming out of turn 8, going towards turn 9. As Chapin now goes back to the front with the front 5 bikes all in the minute 37 range. So, and it looks like Carson might have had a problem, King, because he got off really wide out of turn 1 and then looked back. And the hardest part for him is he doesn't want to lose the draft of the front 4 in front of him. So hopefully Carson King, who Hannah just did a report on, can get his head back down and get in to the slipstream of the 4 riders in front.
37, so impressive. Another look at the aftermath of that incident for the 14-year-old Juliana Fernandez out of Erie, Colorado on the Fernandez racing machine. Back up front we go to the number 95, Matthew Chapin. And look at Medina trying to go up the inside. Nothing there. Ryan Wolf is able to slot himself in there on the blue machine. And we have Carson King, Jaden Fernandez in there as well. So Fernandez looking for a way around. And Jay, this is where times get a little tense for Matthew Chapin. As for Chapin, with the possibility lingering out, there's more than one. Look, if he wins the race, he's definitely got the championship. But also, he needs to have 51 points more than anyone else in the field. And that's another way he's guaranteed the championship.
Yeah, the guy in second right now is the guy that he needs to beat. And even if Medina wins this race and Chapin finished second, he's got that kind of handled right now. So, but look, he's out there trying to win the race. He's 8 laps down, or 7 laps to go now. And Medina's still right behind him. And there's some players here that we saw in the first race that aren't there at all. And, you know, Logan Cunnison, Ella Dreyer, we figured they'd probably be up in this lead group, but it got splintered up pretty quickly, as well as Eli Block. And Eli's just kind of, unfortunately, in no man's land. He's 3.2 seconds behind Carson King, and he's 2.2 seconds up the road from Ella. So Eli's just running around, unfortunately, by himself. So, you know, the lead 5 have gotten away, and, you know, they're going to battle this amongst themselves.
We don't see Solly Marvis in the mix. He's back in 11th place. He was up there as well, battling for 3rd last time earlier today. But Matthew Chapin continues to lead the way. However, Ryan Wolf.
Wow, Carson King came from a long way back.
He did.
And Fernandez looked like he almost had a problem going in there, like he was searching for a gear. And it seemed like it took Jaden a little while to get that bike tipped in. So keep an eye on 13. Make sure he doesn't have any problems. Doesn't look like he does. He's got things kind of back in order. But Carson King came from a long way back to put that pass on.
Sparks flying from Ryan Wolf as he leans the bike over. He just went sector 1, fastest split of the race for the number 66. So he's showing pace. Although in sector number 2, Carson King, the 32, just set his personal best sector 2 split. So this is what we expect in Junior Cup. As the race wears on, these lap times we expect to keep dropping. As Chapin last time by the stripe did his personal best 37.6. All of a sudden Carson King on the 32 goes fastest lap of the race at a 1:37.471.
Wow, 37.4. What was the? I'm gonna put you on the spot, Greg. What was the qualifying time? Because I think a number of the riders have been under that time. I think Chapin was the only one in the 37s, I thought, or
36s. He did a 1:36.
Okay, did a 36. Okay.
All right, so Medina was able to do a 37.3. So these lap times are fast.
Yes.
But for Carson King qualified at a 38 flat, so that's 0.6 of a second quicker than Carson King qualified.
Yeah, that's good. So wonder if the teams made some adjustments to these bikes to make it to where they'll be able to run this pace a little bit easier. And because this morning I think Chapin was the only one maybe in the 37s. As you see, Ryan Wolf again, tremendous pass on Medina as they went down there into turn 6. So Ryan with a lot of pace on that 66 gets himself at a 37.5, only a 10th off the fastest lap of the race set by Carson King, like you said, on that last lap. So Ryan doing a nice job here.
And Matthew Chapin sets his sector 1 fastest time for himself at a 40.063, where Carson King continues to push the issue at a 39.994, fastest sector 1. Fastest sector 2 now goes to the 13 of Jaden Fernandez, who's sitting in 5th place. And that's the thing with this class. Sometimes that carrot is great. Look at the sparks flying. I don't know if maybe that's a titanium toe slider.
Yeah, I can't tell either if it's the bike or you're exactly right. it could be something as simple as a toe slider. 5 laps to go. 37.5 that time for Jaden Fernandez. He's at the back of this group. He matched the time there of Ryan Wolf and Chapin there at 37.6. So just going to keep plugging along these guys, and looks like Chapin just trying to inch away at the smallest bit right there. Yendel Medina stuffs it up the inside. Okay, so this right here is going to give Chapin a little bit of a gap. So let's see if he has that gap still at the end of the back straightaway. They're going to draft up to him. Not really sure what Medina's doing there, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
he just got
Ryan
drafted
Wolf
by 2
didn't
more
know either.
guys. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So, you know, like Chapin now is going to be going off here into turn 6 with a bit of a gap.
So there goes Chapin down in turn 6, and Ryder's trying to find position, and there's a pass for second place. But boy, there are some. Look at Medina going up the inside as well. So he'll take over second for the moment. And here's another look at how this unfolded, left part of your screen.
Yeah, you're going to see Medina gets a good run out of turn 2, stuffs it up the inside of Wolf. Wolf cuts it back up underneath him. Tried to, rather. And then Medina led the way out of there, but you can see now, doesn't look like they're tipping in for Greg. Is it sprinkling? It might be sprinkling.
Yeah. Let's get to Hannah real quick.
I know we've talked about the weather ad nauseum this weekend, but unfortunately it is cooling down. It's sprinkling on the pit lane here. Sky's getting pretty dark, so we'll see how things progress.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, these guys are out there on slicks. Chapin's going to just pull up now, I think, because he realizes championship's at stake. He needs to finish, and you can see there's zero lean angle from any of our competitors. As they come onto this front straightaway, they're probably going to see some rain there. Ryan Wolf and Medina, they're going to just take all the chances. Chapin doesn't need to take any chances right now. Race is, what do we got, 4 laps to go, Greg? So now we just got to we got to hope that the weather just stays away a little bit.
Oh boy, what tense times for Matthew Chapin, because he's got the championship literally within grasp. If Yendel Medina ends up winning this race, Chapin could finish second and still wrap up the championship. But the lap times have dropped by nearly 10 seconds, Jason, because of the raindrops. And it's going to be red flag. Looks like the red flag is out as riders have gone down. The 31 and the 99.
Yeah, that's too bad. I hate seeing that.
Kesey. Looks like those are the 2 riders that we see.
Airbags have definitely gone off, so that's good.
Yeah. So with the red flag out, and it looks like the 95 of Chapin as we've passed, I think, 3/4 distance. And by the rule, I believe this race is going to be over, but we'll double check. But if this race is over, then you're looking at your new Junior Cup national champion. The Bart Kahn Kawasaki racer Matthew Chapin is your national champion.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have loved to have seen a checkered flag to get that one, Greg, but he's going to take it any way he can. He's a very deserving champion as well. He won our very first race of the season, and fitting that he's going to win this one here in these conditions towards the end of the race. And glad to see the 2 riders that did tip over. I'm glad to see they were up and okay.
And for the 16-year-old from Damascus, Maryland, taking the national championship, a couple of races early, incredible. That's going to be his 6th race win of the season. Yendel Medina has 1, Logan Cunnison has 2, Levi Batty with 1 as well. So really, Chapin has been the star of this series. Part-time last year, comes to MotoAmerica for Junior Cup full-time this year. And he has the distinction of being crowned the last MotoAmerica Junior Cup national champion, as this class goes away next year and gives way to MotoAmerica Talent Cup. We're going to talk to Chapin and find out how he's feeling after winning the race and his championship.
It was anything but an easy race for these young competitors here in the Junior Cup category, Roger. But you think about the job that Matthew Chapin was able to do, changing conditions all weekend long, earning his 6th win of the season and taking home that class championship.
He just did it all year, puts himself in the right spot, and what a great year he's had.
As we watch the riders make their way down pit lane, over into the podium area to celebrate, let's get down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team one last time, Michael Hill.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Roger. As always, it's been a massive pleasure to work with you guys. Of course, my penultimate race of the season. What a cracking final race that was. Unfortunately, we got the red flag, but Matthew Chapin is the 2024 champion. Of course, for those that are going to be coming out to the next round, I will be at COTA. Looking forward to that. It's another new track for me, which is a bit of a strange one, considering how many tracks I've been to. So really looking forward to that. But obviously, as the riders now come back down here, Jamie, this moment does belong to Matthew Chapin, doesn't it? He's been the standout of the season. Double race win. What a way to win the championship for him. So, yeah, congratulations to him. And as I said, guys, I will see you at COTA.
You there, Michael Hill. Thank you for all of the hard work this week and all of those challenging conditions for yourself, as well as Steve down there with you throughout the weekend. It's been great coverage. You mentioned it. It's all about Matthew Chapin right now. He made quick work of this full season championship for himself for the first time, Roger, and really put an exclamation point on it.
He really has, and just the way he started the year with the win at Road Atlanta, and I think just kind of jump-started his season and made sure that he knew that he could win, and we've seen him win in a lot of different ways. Dog fights, we've seen him check out, we've seen him win in the wet, and has just put together a phenomenal season.
Such a great way to wrap up this first weekend back at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the MotoAmerica Championship in the last 10 years. And there was just an incredible amount of work and dedication that went into getting this iconic facility ready for two-wheel racing again. That certainly did not go unnoticed. All of the fans that came out, you guys came out and you showed up, and we really appreciate you guys being out here with us this weekend as well. Look at all of the congratulations for Matthew Chapin.
Yeah, and it just shows you when everybody comes to the podium and want to congratulate you, just shows you that your peers respect you and they're happy for you. And it really goes back to shows you the character of the rider.
As a young rider getting this national championship, this is a day he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been dreaming about this day ever since he started road racing, and then his family as well. You know, they put so much time and effort and money and driving their son all across the country to chase this dream. And, you know, if he keeps riding the way he did this year, it's going to be not his last title, and it's going to be really fun to watch his career progress from here.
One more race weekend remains for the Junior Cup riders here in the 2024 season. That will come in September at New Jersey Motorsports Park. So all of these riders will get another taste of action. 2 more races remaining. But for Matthew Chapin, he's going to get to go back home and go back to school as now a national champion in the AMA ranks. Let's get back over to Greg and Jason.
MotoAmerica Junior Cup coverage at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course is brought to you by Permco, a leading manufacturer of high-pressure hydraulic gear, vane pumps and motors, flow dividers, intensifiers, and accessories. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Celebrations for the 95, turning that thing into a #1 plate for himself, and he'll have that for the rest of his life. Not bad at 16 years old. Get himself the nice championship. Let's take a look at the results of this red flag race. And it's going to be, in fine style, your national champion, Chapin, with the win. 75 hundredths of a second over Yandel Medina and Ryan Wolf. Let's get down to our new champion.
Greg, Matthew Chapin is your AMA-FIM North America 2024 Junior Cup champion. James Holter here on behalf of the AMA presenting the #1 plate. Big congratulations on Matthew. You got the job done early, but the work is not done yet. A couple more races and the Intercontinental Games coming up in November. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I feel great. This feels awesome. I mean, from this being my first full season of doing MotoAmerica to winning the championship, wow, I'm so thankful. Man, I couldn't do this without all my sponsors. I want to give a huge thanks to Mike at Triple Strong Racing for coming out and helping me with all the motor work, everything, getting the bike dialed in. Man, huge thanks to my mom and dad, Chuck, Tim, Connie, and everybody that came out, Brian. Man, this feels great. Thanks to Woodcraft, KYT, Bison, Woodcraft, Vortex, and everybody else who helps me out. Thank you, guys.
Being selected for those Intercontinental Games, one of the few Americans going over, what does it mean to you to be a part of that team?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun experience. I'm really excited to see how I do, and I'm looking forward to it.
A very happy champion, Matthew Chapin, guys.
Yeah, and you'll learn more about that. There's releases out about that's going to be Thanksgiving weekend over in Europe. And let's get right back down to Hannah as our second place finisher.
Second place today for Yandel Medina, and I know you were looking forward to those remaining laps to try and keep it this championship fight. Take us through your race, Yandel.
It was a very good race. From the start, I knew I was able to keep up with Chapin because we did a lot of setups to the bike. We're happy with what we got. We've been fighting for this championship for 4 years now, and I was finally able to put it on top of the Bucks for my dad. And everybody that helps me with everybody. Arai, I want to give them a huge thank you. They've been helping me this whole season, giving me helmets. I love you guys. New York Safety Track, Moto D, Carlos Track Days, Pin to Gas, everybody, I love you all. Thank you for all the support.
Yandel Medina, your second place finisher, and rounding out your podium today for Junior Cup is Ryan Wolf. The fans are very excited to see you, a big smile on your face. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. It's been a long time since I've gotten back up on the podium, actually since Atlanta. I'd like to thank Hart Racing for helping me get back up here this weekend. We've been through so much. I've worked on the bike so hard recently, and I'm just glad that my efforts are showing.
All right, congratulations to Ryan Wolf, your third place finisher.
Love the enthusiasm for these riders, and this is the future of racing in MotoAmerica, and it's great to see Matthew Chapin with the #1 plate. All right, we'll be back with more coverage of Junior Cup from Mid-Ohio after this.
It's incredible listening to those interviews down on the podium area at this point in the season versus where we started back at Road Atlanta. These riders have just matured so much over the course of the last couple of months. While we have the opportunity before we send it back next door, got to take the time just to thank the 55 men and women that make up the broadcast team here on MotoAmerica Live Plus. They have put in tireless work through all of the elements this weekend to keep our coverage going for all of you around the circuit, as well as watching with us on MotoAmerica Live Plus. So we say thank you for being out there and all of that hard work. And Roger, when you look at this podium and you think about the racing that we've had over the last 2 days, what are you going to think about over the next 3 weeks?
Just the battles that's getting closer as the championship winds down. Super Sport, King of the Baggers. I want to see if Josh Herring can keep his momentum going as we go into Dakota. And it was really fun watching these kids' progression all year. And, you know, as you mentioned, like just their podium interviews was 1 or 2 words at the beginning of the season. And now, you know, they look like they're pros up there. And it's been fun to watch their progression. And I'm ready to go. We got 2 more rounds left, and looking forward to seeing how the rest of it goes.
Yes, our next time out on the racetrack and with you here on MotoAmerica Live Plus will be September 13th through 15th. We'll have 3 full days of coverage from Circuit of the Americas. It'll be myself, Roger Hayden, as well as Michael Hill with you there for the full weekend of coverage. We've got a lot of action to look forward to also before we wrap things up for the championship round at New Jersey Motorsports Park. You can see the rain now falling even harder here at Mid-Ohio, and the fans still making their way over there to get all of those great shots. And it's been a great weekend. Everybody's worked so hard. Also, all of the corner workers, all of the volunteers. We could not run these race weekends without all of you. So thank you for all of that hard work. I'm going to go ahead and send it back over to Greg White and Jason Pridmore.
The rain has fallen here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as we are wrapping up a weekend. Cannot say how awesome it has been to be back here at Mid-Ohio and how great it was to watch this race number 2.
Yeah, you can see really early it was Matthew Chapin got himself out front. Probably thought he could maybe do what he did this morning, but there was a group behind him, including Yandel Medina, that didn't want to let that happen. Ryan Wolf, Jaden Fernandez, and Carson King all did a good job of keeping the new champ honest, Greg. And you can see here, it was like this pretty much for the whole amount of 7 laps that we were able to run. We were all about 4 laps shy of what we needed to get to. Ryan Wolf took a stab here, got himself up into second place. And this was kind of what we saw. Everybody was kind of just doing this process of seeing what was going on. With about 2 laps to go, Medina jumped up underneath and got himself up into second place. But then slight rain started to fall. Race gets red flagged. Smart to get that red flag before we have more carnage out there. And there's a new champ.
New champ enjoying the spoils of a battle all year long, and now gets to roll into the final Junior Cup weekend of the year, which is going to be September 27th to the 29th at New Jersey Motorsports Park. So here's a look at your championship standings. Keep in mind there's only 2 races left, so there's only 50 points available to get. And that 200 points to 62 for Yandel Medina. He's back. And then Logan Cunnison, Fernandez in the mix, Eli Block, Ryan Wolf. And you can see on down the list, the Dreyer brother and sister pair in 9th and 10th. Well, Jason, what do you think about our new champion?
I love it. And he seems like a great guy. I've been lucky enough to meet him a few times. And very humble young man. I think he's going to represent us well when they go over to Jerez in November. I'm excited to see how that turns out for our team that's being sent over there. And it's going to be exciting for him to be able to go and put his talents on a world track. World track over there.
And no better way to win that #1 plate than win the race as well. So he does the double on the weekend and pulls away from the rest of the field. Let's talk a little bit about our experience here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We've enjoyed everybody from the racetrack, the fans. It has been amazing. Congratulations to Matthew Chapin on his national championship. We'll see you in New Jersey